We are here with Sister Scoop, and this week we have another very exciting first topic, which is the Captain America. What is it now? Brave New
Brave
World.
New World. Brave New
Yeah,
World.
I always forget. I don't
It's
know
changed
why.
a few times.
I know. I can't remember it to save my life. We have a trailer. We have the first look at this movie. This movie's gone through a couple revisions. Sounded like they put it in front of an audience at one point. Didn't really love it, so they fixed it up again. This trailer looks absolutely amazing.
I can't explain to you my level of excitement when I saw this. There's just something so cool about Cap movies, and they're so politically driven with the intrigue and all of that, and just the fact that he's now interacting with the president who's Harrison Ford. There are
Yeah.
so many elements here that are just making my nerd meter so excited. And I honestly I can't wait for more to come out. I know we have to wait till, what is it, February, but this teaser just made me so excited. I almost wish they would have waited, because I can't even explain to you how pumped I am.
Well, and I mean, I know you're saying wait till February, but that's really only what, 6 months away? Not that far.
It
So we
feels
don't really
further.
have to
It
wait.
feels a
It
lot
does.
further.
It only feels further because it's 2025. So to think about being in the new year, but we really don't have to wait that long. I'm so excited. I mean, we got our first look at Red Hulk, which I think we've all been absolutely just waiting to happen for a very long time.
Can we also talk about the poster with the Cap shield and the hand, the Red
Oh,
Hulk hand?
oh,
Just
oh my gosh.
Marvel.
Somebody needed a raise for that one.
So good.
That
Welcome
was
back.
so good. Well, what
come
really
on.
excited me was it's a callback to the Winter Soldier poster with just the shield. Obviously, the shield looks different in that poster because it's kind of trying to say it's tainted. The shield looks different because there's a different soldier out there. So I have to say, I loved that too. And it made me feel even better about this movie because I loved Civil War. Let's not get it wrong, guys. Let's not get it twisted. But I think we all can agree that it was hard to watch Civil War as a Cap trilogy ending point. It's an Avengers film. They're all in it. Let's call it what it is. So I think going back to kind of that Winter Soldier feeling, and obviously that was where Sam made his debut. I love it. I love the callback, and that poster. I can go to bed happy. Ever since that poster came out, I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
If this is the vibe that we're going back to, I am so into it. I know they've said a few times that they're really trying to capture that magic from Winter Soldier, which, we recently did our Ragnarok replay, and we talked about, Ragnarok is up there. So is Winter Soldier as universally accepted, best films of the series to date. Full
Right.
stop. Top 3, top 5, either way, they're both in that conversation.
Correct.
So the fact that they're kind of using that as inspiration makes me really excited. And just from the look of the trailer, and look, it's just a teaser trailer, and obviously we know trailers are misleading, but I was starting to feel that way about it. Feel the way I feel about those Cap films, those early Cap films.
Yeah.
Which is so good. And that's what I mean. They're back in that way. They're doing those types of films again, which we've gotten so far away from. And don't get me wrong, I love that they're exploring different genres, but they do these films really, really well. And I'm excited to go back to these types of political intrigue films. They're the best. They are the best. We're Cap girls. They're the best.
We are Cap girls. Let's be honest with this. I'm happy with it. I'm ready for Sam to have his full debut on his own too. So
yeah,
this was great. Great timing because you kind of beat SDCC, which is almost better in my opinion. So it's not getting clogged with everything else. It had its own moment. I'm pretty sure it's either the poster or the teaser trailer surpassed everything that Deadpool and Wolverine has put out in marketing. That's how crazy this is in likes.
That's insane.
That is one of Marvel's most liked recent posts. That is crazy. Just so y'all know. But that proves Captain America, you can't go wrong. That's your man, right?
100%.
But as much as I would love to keep talking about Cap, because I think we could do it forever, we have to move to our next topic, which is that Byron Bowers has been casted in Wonder Man. I did some research. I've never seen anything he's been in personally, so I don't have too much to go off of here, but it's a good thing that we're casting people for this show. I think it's not still set for next year, is it?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
Because
either.
I feel like they're moving everything around. I also think next year, I don't know that the shows are set in stone. Like the films seem like they pretty much, those are the 4 films they're going to do, maybe minus
Right.
Blade. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this year we get at SDCC a postponement there. I think we've talked about that in the past. The shows to me, like they haven't even given us dates for shows that come out this year yet. So those to
True.
me are very nebulous in terms of like actual release dates. But in case you don't recognize Byron's name, just a little bit of examples of what he's been in. So Lady in the Lake, which actually comes out later this week, is with Natalie Portman. Swarm and The Shy. For me, The Shy is probably the most recognizable project. That's, I think, a TV show. I think a lot of people know that. I personally haven't watched it like Kate, but you know, if he's in stuff with Natalie Portman in that particular show, I think definitely speaks to a strong background and someone that I'm excited to see in the show.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see on this one. We don't know who he's playing. Obviously, I think we only know who Wonder Man is at this point.
I think
It's
so.
very, very early. So we will just have to put a pin in this one, but it is exciting that we are starting to get some casting reveals. On to our last. I think it's Chauncey, and we're going to go with it. Matthew Chauncey is on board as X-Men 97 writer for season 3. Obviously, any news for X-Men 97 is good, especially considering we didn't have a writer. So, yes, no?
Yeah, I mean, when I was reading a little bit about what he's been doing lately, so he worked on season 1 and season 2 of What If and is actually the number 1 writer for season 3 of What If as well. So, he is clearly making people happy over at Marvel because he just got promoted kind of twice. So, I mean, and look, we've both liked What If. We've had our, thoughts about it. Nothing's perfect except for X-Men 97, but
Of
nothing's
course.
perfect. And so, I personally, I have a lot of confidence in this. I do feel sad that Bo DeMaio's not going to do it because after season 1, I mean, he definitely proved himself. We still, to my
Yeah.
knowledge, don't know why that change was made. But he did season 1 and season 2 and was, I think, just starting on season 3 when he was removed from the project. So sounds like Matthew Chauncey is going to come in and do his own spin on season 3, basically as much as he's allowed to do his own spin on something that's at that point 2 seasons in and well established. But I'm not too worried. I think he has a good background in Marvel working with the animation and understanding what works and what doesn't in that medium for Marvel and Marvel characters. So I think in terms of who they picked, this is probably a really solid choice. We'll have to see how season 3 turns out, but I'm not worried, which is rare. I feel like I'm a worrier.
Yeah, you definitely are a worrier. Let's
Yeah.
just say that right there. I'm also not too worried myself. I am not a worrier, but I'm not too worried myself just because, especially when someone does something very well in the MCU, I feel like if there's one thing about Marvel, they'll capitalize on it and they'll keep them around. Let's look at the Russo brothers, for
Yeah.
example. So I think if he's out here and he's been doing What If the way he's been doing it, and again, you kind of said it, there are things we don't love about What If as a whole, but that's partially what we expect from it and what we want from it. That isn't exactly where it goes. Obviously, not every show is going to be from our imagination. Almost none of them will be. We didn't come up with them. But that's a completely different thing than how it's written. And so I think as a whole the show's been done very well. And so if he's been doing that, and also that's our first animated show that came out in Marvel. That really started it all. So if he's been able to do that successfully, I am very excited to see what he could do for X-Men 97.
Yeah, I mean, we probably have a couple years to wait yet because we haven't
True.
seen season 2 yet and have no announcement on that. But again, I digress with the shows and the timing and the Marvel not giving us the timing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be excited to see what happens. I think it'll be even more interesting to have this conversation and revisit it after we do see season 2 and what happens, how it continues on the stories from season 1, and what it potentially sets up for 3. We've talked a little bit about what we think could potentially happen in 2 based on how things ended in season 1. So we'll see again how these stories continue and how Matthew Chauncey and team take those on to season 3 and move them forward in ways we may or may not expect.
Yeah. But on that note, this has been this week's Sister Scoop. Make sure you guys are following us on all of your platforms, social platforms, Spotify, everything for the podcast, and obviously YouTube as well. So you can keep listening to Sister Scoops every week. And we will be back next week with another round, and we'll see you then. Bye.